My husband's reaction after our son's inappropriate behavior is shocking me. He doesn't want to address the problem and only wants to sweep it under the rug. I don't know how to approach those problems with him. How can I get us on the same page? Part 1. I'm going anonymous for privacy reasons, although I'm not too active on here. But this has been one of the most stressful and confusing moments in my life, and in my marriage. We've never had issues like this. A short backstory for context: husband and I have been married for 13 years. We have a 13-year-old, M, and 2-year-old, F. When I was pregnant, we decided to hire a nanny. We both work very demanding jobs and wanted our young daughter to have personalized attention at home. This was a serious thing for us. We went through a placement agency and found a perfect fit. A more young girl, 23, F, at the time, 25, F, now. She has become like a second daughter. She is so much like our little daughter, sensitive, playful, and very sweet. She also appears younger than what she actually is, and our daughter has taken to calling her Sissy. Our little girl is extremely attached to her, more so than me at times. Things were well for these past 2 years that she has been with us. Because it is summer, our son is at home for most of the days unless he has soccer, piano lessons, or is hanging out with his friends. Our daughter goes to her grandmother's 2 times a week for half the day, and during this time our nanny is free to do whatever she desires. However, if son is not at lessons or the like, she has to stay at least 15 minutes in the area if he is at home/in the neighborhood. The problem did not start until about a week ago. I noticed our nanny acting a bit strange. She became less talkative, a bit distant, and really only solely spoke to our daughter with warmth. This is not usual for our relationship, professional but relaxed and open. She lives with us during the weeks when husband and I have travel, late nights, etc. There is a night nanny who takes over most things around 6 p.m. during these times, otherwise she is off at 6. So we have gotten comfortable with each other. It was important to me for it to be like a home to her, because it is her home too when she is there. She lives in the duplex, which is like her own apartment when off duty for her privacy. So I started to become concerned after the week passed, and she was still acting strange. I asked my husband if he noticed anything or had an idea about anything that could have caused her sudden change in behavior, but he was just at a loss than I was. On Saturday, when she was out of the house, her off days are Friday through Monday, my son approached me in a very flustered state. He was nervous appearing about something, and I had a strong feeling it was about what I had been suspecting. I was right in the most unfortunate way. He told me that he had done something wrong. I asked him what. He hesitated for a while before telling me. He told me that a little bit ago, confirmed, about a week ago when this started, when he came back from soccer, he saw our nanny in her room undressing. Baby sister was napping during this time. He said that she saw him after a while, and was frozen for a moment, before telling him to leave and slammed the door. I asked him if he looked away when he saw her, but he said that he wanted to, but he could not. I'm not going into more detail. He found her beautiful, she is. I knew he had a crush, but he always kept it under control because he is a respectful boy. That is how we raised him. When I asked him why he decided to tell me now, he said because he felt bad and didn't want the nanny to think he was weird or disgusting, or for her to tell us something that wasn't true. I told him I appreciated him telling me, although I was very upset. I said I would need to speak to his father about what to do next. It made sense then why our nanny's behavior changed. I felt so ashamed. My husband was shocked as well, but his reaction wasn't what I expected. He said that it shouldn't be surprising that he wasn't able to look away, he's only 13, experiencing puberty, she is beautiful, etc., but that he wasn't blaming her, but that for both their sakes we should just let the matter go to avoid unnecessary tension in the house. I told him that literally none of that mattered. I understand he's only a child, but that doesn't mean we make excuses for what he did and not address it. That there needed to be a consequence. I suggested for son apologizing to the nanny, which husband thought wasn't the best idea, but first I needed to speak to her. This morning I spoke to her. Her reaction broke my heart. I'm fiercely protective of my children and would defend them to the ends of the earth, but when she told me the reason she didn't tell me was because she didn't think we believe her, or that she would have been fired, my heart literally broke. I should have closed the door all the way. I should have heard that he came home, our door chimes when opened. I don't know what to do. I told her that she is safe, absolutely not getting fired, and that our son had admitted. But now she's not comfortable with him, and feels ashamed of it and having feelings of disgust toward him because of him being a child. Although she doesn't nanny him like our daughter, she still was around him for 2 years, driving him places and interacting. I told her that for now, just focus on our daughter, and I would arrange for our son to get to where he needs to go by other means for the time. So this is where I'm at. I don't want this to become a us versus her or anything. My son is not a bad child. I do believe he genuinely feels bad. He's never been disrespectful towards the nanny before, but I am a bit hurt by his actions. It scares me, as he's entering his teenage years. But the main problem is my husband. He completely wants to rug sweep this. Anytime I try to suggest how to repair, he shuts down. This morning he literally told me, "Would you just let it go?" It was like a slap in the face. We are supposed to be a team, parenting our children together. Him as father plays a big role in our son's development through puberty, and I wanted us to be on the same page about this. A consequence. A serious talk. Not rug sweeping. I look at him in the face and am seeing a different man. Why is he acting this way? What about our nanny's feelings? I know that I'm going to have to put my foot down somehow, but I don't want this to seriously impact our marriage. But I have no idea how to approach this with him. Clarification. I've been advised by a few people to do this. I want for clarify. The peep in question was not merely a few seconds or 10 to 15 seconds. He stood there for at least a minute and watched her undress all the way down to her underwear. He admitted this. At first it was accidental, but then he kept seeing different parts of her body and was curious to see more. He sounded disgusted when he said this. He's not a bad boy. But it was leering. Which is where the guilt comes from. I avoided getting into detail because I didn't want potential creeps getting pleasure or people imaging an inappropriate situation between the two. My apologies.